Hello guys, I hope everyone is okay. So the last time we discussed about the live form, and we pulled data from Google Sheet to Python, and then we took it from Python to the PostgreSQL database. So in today's session, we're going to start dealing with the DBT. So we're going to use Anaconda prompt to install all DBT related tools that are going to be used for this project. So let's get started. So first you'll just search your Anaconda prompt. So you just come to Anaconda and then you'll see this Anaconda prompt, and then you'll click the Anaconda prompt. And then an Anaconda prompt we're going to install. The first step is to install the DBT related tools that will be used for this project. So if you will install the DBT, you'll open your Anaconda prompt and then you will install the DBT related packages. So let's wait for it so that the packages can be installed, and then so after this we can confirm if we've really installed our packages. So we can confirm by using this code DBT version by checking what kind of a version they've installed for us. So let's run this one. Yeah, so they have installed up to date. That means they've installed the latest version of the Postgre, and also the plugins for the the DBT and the plugins for the Postgre. So that means generally it has just installed the up to date packages for us. So now we have the DBT tools installed in our computer. So first of the next step is to create a folder to store all related stuff that will be working on using this project. So you run a code to create a folder. Yeah, so we are creating a folder in the DBT for specifically for this project. So you'll type this code, and then we allow it to load. So once you write that folder, once you run that that code for creating the folder. It will pop up this area where it will ask you to enter a number. So this number, so we want to use DBT to work with Postgre. So it's like it asking the assigned number of the database that you want to work with. So every database, they normally have been assigned a number. So for example, Postgre is assigned number 1, and then I'm not sure, but I think Python is assigned, Snowflake is assigned number 2. So for us, we want to deal with Postgre. So we'll type number 1 and then you click enter, and then it will ask you to the host name. So just the host name by default is normally local host, and then port by default is the one that they have already given you. So you just type 5432, and then user by default is Postgres. So this step is like we help the DBT to connect. It's like we are now connecting the DBT tools. We are connecting it with the Postgre database. So we are giving the DBT path or credential that will access the Postgre database. So user by default, this one is Postgre, Postgres, and then password. So I will enter my password for my Postgre, and then database name, DB name. So I created a database. It's called Super F, and then schema by default is public, and then trade by default is normally 1. So generally we have just given DBT more of like it's more of like we are giving DBT access to our database. So these are credentials generally for our database. So it's like you are telling DBT where your database is and how to connect it. So after this, you'll click enter, and then so we've now given permission the DBT to access our database. Now we're going to create a folder to organize the work. So for example, when the data is pulled from Postgre to DBT for the transformation, we want to create a folder so that we can organize our work. For example, when the data is pulled from the Postgre to DBT, maybe we'll create a folder for the raw data from Postgre, and then maybe we'll create another folder for the data after being claimed by the DBT. So we'll have to create a folder for specific for those kind of so that we can organize our work. So I'll run a code. Yeah, so I run this code. So this code is basically for creating folders so that we can organize our work. the model staging. So staging is the folder that will going to store the raw data from the DBT. And then the other one, math dimensions, this is we will store the data after the DBT have done the transformation, and it's more of like we'll store the data that is ready for analysis. And then so we'll then run a code so that we can instruct the DBT what to do in terms of which folder will be the one for storing raw data, and which folder will be the one for storing the data that is ready for the report analysis. So let's just run the code. Yeah, so let's run the code. So this is the code. So once you run this code, it will pop up this notepad. So you'll just copy paste this. So this one indicates the name. This is the name of the project folder, and the profile is just like the name and profile of the folder that we've created. And we are telling the DBT that F1 is the one for staging. Staging is where we will store the raw data in DBT. We will pull the raw data from Postgre and we take it to DBT, and in DBT we're going to store it at the staging place, the staging folder. And then after we've done the transformation with this data, we will now store the transformed data into math dimensional, into this folder dimensions. So after that we will click file and then we save, and then we close, and then we close. So let's meet in the next phase.